Welcome to episode 252 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton. As always, I'm joined by Dan Reamer.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Or morning, depending on if you really think it's good or not, I suppose.
We've covered this before, but there's a difference.
There's a huge difference.
But this morning, it's a good morning.
It's a good morning. I'm enjoying my bread. I'm putting in my floors finally this week. And this weekend, I should say. And this is a nice welcome break from doing the flooring. Because if you don't know this about me, I pretty much sit around on my ass and eat chocolate and ice cream and drink Mountain Dews and smoke cigarettes and watch TV and play video games. So my body hurts from doing flooring because I'm using muscles I never use.
Where are we at completion-wise?
More than 2/3. I've got like 2 more rows, and then I've got to do the rip for the last final row.
That's not too bad.
No, I did most of it yesterday.
The Construction Dan Chronicles.
That's right, Construction Dan.
You could have done a whole vlog on it.
Could have, didn't.
You could have been that awkward guy like on the tripod.
Probably never will.
Like, today I'm going to show you how to replace floors in your house. And you walk up and grab the camera and you can see you shut it off, and then you cut to the next scene. That's how I like my YouTube videos. I watch a lot of those when I'm trying to figure out how to do something.
I hate the ones where I really want to know something, and it's just some dude there going, okay, here's what you do. You're like, no, fuck you, show me. Yeah.
I'm pretty good at I look for those ones like it looks like it's either a tutorial video or amateur porn.
Yep.
Those are the ones I look for, because usually there's some guy that's...
Those are the best ones.
It's some person who actually knows what they're doing, and they're going to show you real quick.
That's how you know.
Yeah. But it's shot on what I think is a camcorder that still takes a tape.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, it's like 35 millimeter.
Yeah, it's got that look.
One of them old 35 millimeter ones that you hold and you got to wind.
Yeah, creeper cameras. Nobody using one of those that's not a creeper nowadays. Yeah, I love YouTube. YouTube makes me way more a believer in my own abilities.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Sometimes though, you got to watch out for those videos though, because the ones that look. And this has happened to me before. They look like amateurish and just some guy. Well, he does have it, because I watched this for a part on my car. He already took the part out, and he's videoing it, like videoing the part, and he's like, "Here's where it was. I had to pull this from out under here." Well, if you don't know where that is, this thing was like a minute and a half long. And he's just, the whole time he's just explaining about how he had trouble finding it and couldn't figure it out. So then he finally found it, and here's where it is. And thanks for watching. Be sure to put your likes and comments.
I love YouTube.
I do too.
I love the rabbit holes it sends me down.
Where you just get lost in it for
hours? I don't even know. I was watching something. And then there was a video about, it was a Jay Leno's Garage that popped up as, "You might like this." I'm like, yeah, I might. So I clicked on that. And then underneath that, it was, "I bought a Domino's DXP Chevy Spark and they're mad." I'm like, what is this? This guy bought one of those pizza cars. I need to watch this. And then he had a follow-up video. I'm like, well, I'll watch half of the video.
I gotta know how it ends.
Right. Yeah. How's this saga close? Because I'm on the edge of my seat right now. He bought it for $575.
Woo!
A little front end damage. But yeah, I was like, how does this happen? And anyone that's around you is like, what are you watching? And you can't explain it to where you don't seem like a weirdo.
Right. No, I get it.
You can't be like, this guy bought one of those Domino's pizza cars. You're like, all right, why are you watching that?
Yeah.
Because Jay Leno's Garage popped up after I watched a thing about video games. And you're like, okay.
Never mind. And then you're just like, okay, no, I get it. Never mind.
Right.
You're not going to understand.
Because I was watching a dude cut gummy worms with a hot knife. And then I accidentally got here, okay? Not proud of it. But it feels good.
It's just a tragic chain of events.
Right. Speaking of watching, Rocket League's World Championships going on right now for Season 4.
Yeah, you got it up?
Yeah, I've been deep in some esports.
Did you watch the own goal last night?
What?
I think I read about an own goal last night.
Oh, there was a couple.
Team NRG against...
NRG against the Chiefs?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, the Chiefs sent them home. NRG, big upset right there because the Chiefs are the Oceanic.
Yeah.
So they're pretty small fry compared to EU and North America. That was a huge deal. But that wasn't, I don't know. That last match of the night was pretty good. It was G2, which is Kronovi, more or less the face of Rocket League.
Right.
And going against Mocket, who is always in the finals.
Yeah.
And they went 5 games, and it was damn good.
Yeah.
Because the crowd's like really into that one because they're a fan favorite, so there's lots of like screaming, yelling. I like esports. I'm okay saying that. Like I like to watch that.
There's nothing wrong with that. I watch it some, not much,
and it's
but
not
some.
even. It's not just that. Like I've caught some other stuff. Like I've seen some Street Fighter and I saw some Injustice not long ago. Like I like it. I like watching it.
Yeah, I don't mind watching it. I don't watch it much.
Yeah. It's hard to find, like if you're not into that scene, it's hard to just stumble
across it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like I watch replays all the time of like important. This is the important things that happened in a match or whatever. I see a lot of that, but that's because it comes up on news feeds and stuff. But I don't, for the most part, go actively searching.
Rocket League was on for, I don't know, like 4 or 5 hours yesterday, and it carried about 120,000 people the entire time. It's a pretty good following to be watching it. And, of course, it's a live event, so they've got an arena packed full.
Right.
But I wish this could find a way to break through because...
It may. Give it time. It's still early.
That Overwatch thing we talked about a while ago where you're getting some big owners.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that work. Like I think that stuff is fun to watch in a way that regular sports is.
Right.
Like the way the announcers get so excited, and you're like, I'm seeing some shit right now that nobody's ever seen. Like that's how you feel when some people do stuff, and you're like, I'd never seen. I didn't even know you could do that.
Right.
And then next season when you watch, like that's meta, like everybody's doing that, and something else happens, you're like, I ain't never seen anything like that. I didn't even know you could do that. And you just see the sport like growing.
Yeah, it's getting bigger.
I wish it was more mainstream, but I don't know.
Over time, maybe. Over time.
Yeah, there's so many people who just dismiss it immediately.
There is. It'd be
like
nice to see that change, and it might over time as the younger generation who has been incredibly involved with video games in a way that most generations haven't. As they get older and start getting into positions where they can dictate those kinds of things, I think you'll see that grow. But until that happens, video games is still... there's still too many people out there of the older generations. Well, they rot your brain. And
I just don't know if I can ever see a time where we're all sitting around the table at work and everybody's giving people shit about their Rocket League.
Well, no, it probably won't get that big. It just like...
But I want it to.
I know you want it. Well, yeah. I want to be uglier and less athletic. What we want doesn't matter.
That's true. I don't know. I mean, the way I hear people talk about football and stuff, and I love football. Let me rephrase, I love professional football. I don't give a damn about college football, which is backwards from most people's belief.
Down there,
especially. Yeah. But I would love to hear people talk about any esports the same way that they talk about some of these things. Just because I think they're that interesting. The storylines are interesting. The way that teams can, like when a team loses, they're not just out. Like, they're potentially never a team again.
Right.
Depending on who blames who for that loss. Like, it's a big deal. And they got to buy each other out of contracts. And it's like, I don't know, there's so many moving parts. There's a lot of drama there. People love drama.
People do love drama. Dynasty.
The problem is they're all kids. And I think that's where it feels a little like...
amateurish still?
I don't even know if it's amateurish. Like this, like kid drama maybe shouldn't be entertainment.
I don't know. People ate up that teen pregnancy show.
Yeah, Teen Mom.
Is that what it was?
I don't know. I think so.
I never watched it.
Isn't that where Farrah Abrams is from or whatever?
I don't know. Is that the one who did the porno with what's his face?
Yeah. Did say she was pregnant, but not pregnant.
Yeah. It's a mess.
She's somehow a celebrity.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Is she though?
She's a celebrity. Yeah. Like they post when she sold her house the other day. That's how you know.
Oh.
If they're talking about the things that you do that don't matter, you're somehow celebrity status. She was on that Teen Mom show and she did like a backdoor shot and that was it. Celebrity. Boom.
It's all it takes, huh?
Right. If I got somebody pregnant when I was 16 and then did an anal scene, I would not be a celebrity.
I wouldn't either. I don't believe.
Neither one of those things qualifies you as a celebrity where I come from. So, I don't know. Maybe she's
where
right place, right
where
time.
you come from. No, it doesn't.
Right. It's a Thursday night around here. That's not a. Like Teen Mom is based off the area I grew up in. I wrote that book way before it was a TV show.
Yeah, copyright
also,
infringement going on.
It's less entertaining when that's real life too.
Yeah, it is.
Like that's your friends and your neighbors and right.
Jump cuts make all the difference.
That's true. Thank God for jump cuts. If this is your first time joining us, believe it or not, this podcast is about video games, not just teen pregnancy. We're multifaceted around here.
That's right. We have a number of interests.
This podcast posts every Monday, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time on podcast services around the world. So you can find us pretty much everywhere. If you love this podcast or teen pregnancy so much you can't stand it, head over to patreon.com. Toss us a couple bones on there. That helps us do more shows, maybe a spinoff.
Ooh, not Construction Dan.
The Construction Dan Chronicles still sounds all right.
It's a good title. It's never going to be a vlog.
If you can't support us, that's fine too, because we're always going to whip out this podcast right in front of you and let you watch it. And free of charge. How many things are free without like a caveat? Just free.
Not many.
Yeah, you don't have to sign up. There's no 2-year contract. We're not going to go up in price next year.
No, we're not your cable company.
You don't have to buy steak knives to get this podcast.
Hey, steak knives are never a bad idea, though. Ever.
Right, but we don't require that you listen to a seminar about a paring knife before you get this podcast.
It is not. You do not have to listen to a seminar, but you go out and you get you a good set of goddamn steak knives.
Yeah, I do agree that it's worth spending the money on a nice set of all kitchen utensil.
Particularly silverware. Silverware can make or break a meal.
You ever bend one? You're going in too hard and it bends. You're like, what is this shit I'm using?
Bend it, or you ever have the funky spoons that like they're the cheap spoons and they like almost cut your finger when you're sliding your finger up and down or whatever, or like digs into your hand.
They're the ones that no one's even putting any love in. Like a press is just stamping those bitches out all day. Yeah, I've seen those before.
No.
I'll tell you what I have a bigger problem with is when they try to get fancy with a spoon. You're like, it's just a spoon. Like, why is it shaped like this?
How fancy?
It's hard to use.
What do you mean when you say fancy?
I don't know. They're just different than a normal spoon. Every now and then you hold one, you're like, who thought this needed to happen? Like, who needed to improve this? The spoon is a design that has nailed it.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. There's not a lot of improvement going on. There's no improvement going on there.
It's a tiny bowl with a stick on it. That's all I need to hold my thing.
No, the spoon has evolved to its final form.
Yeah. and I also want to go out. I just want to offend a lot of our international listeners. Uh-oh. The fork, the way to go. Nothing's beating the fork. You just stab it. You're good to go.
I do like a fork. However, it's got to be the fork with the longer tongs. I don't like them short.
I don't like a short fork.
You know
at all.
No, not a short fork. You know what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah, but I don't like a short fork just in general.
Some forks have longer tongs than others. You always go for the longer tong. The longer tines, not tongs. The longer
But you know what I'm talking about with like chopsticks? They're fine. They're fine. That's not the best way.
They're not. I would say in this general area, and they're more of a gimmick.
Where you're at, yeah. Well, where I'm at,
yeah. where you're at, where I'm at. Yeah, they kind of... Right. Basically, they're a very easy way for you to say you've got some culture.
I'm multicultural. Look at me use chopsticks. You're an asshole, is what you are. Hand me a fork.
Right.
You're not even. I'm pretty sure you're not even using those right. I see people try to use them and they pick it up and it falls, and they pick it up and they fall, and I'm like, just what are you? Who are you proving it to?
Well, to be fair, rice is made differently over here than it is where chopsticks are.
Just rice, though. Yeah, the rice not sticky enough a lot of times.
Right.
But I watch people eat with chopsticks sometimes, and I'm like, who?
Why?
Who are you trying to impress?
My favorite are the people who use the chopsticks and then like stab a piece of meat.
Yeah, because they're frustrated.
It. Right.
They're frustrated because they're like, it's not the best way to eat.
You could just go get a fork.
Right. I want the food. I also don't like the place to just assume that I'm going to be using the chopsticks either.
Oh, I've never had that happen.
Yeah, I went to a place not long ago. They just handed me chopsticks. I'm like, great, I'm not going to suffer through this. You guys have a fork anywhere in this building that I could borrow for like 25 minutes?
Huh.
Oh, yeah, let me get one for you. Peasant,
right. Yes.
Right.
Plebe.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know how to use them. Like, me and chopsticks, I'm going to be the guy stabbing food over here looking like a serial killer. If you can't grab me just a fork.
Right.
And I know you got one in the back because it is the easier way to eat.
Right.
So if you'll just get me one.
Seriously, you brought me chopsticks and nothing else? You have pizza on your fucking buffet, for Christ's sake.
Right. I'm stabbing pizza with a stick, holding it, spinning it like a pinwheel. Right. Is this what you wanted? You wanted this?
Woo! Get him going with two hands, spinning. Woo! It's like the plates.
Yeah. With pizza slices, throwing Ronies off at everybody.
No, not that Chinese buffet pizza, man. There ain't nothing falling off of that shit.
Yeah, because it was made like 2 weeks ago and under a heat lamp.
And somehow it's all glued on. They just found a way to flavor the glue, the paste.
But every time I go, there's like one slice left. Like, people just been fucking up that pizza.
It's the only thing on there that people are actually comfortable with. That and the fucking French fries. I'm
comfortable with all of it.
You're just comfortable with food.
Here's the thing, though, like a Golden Corral, an American buffet, I don't want any part of it. I'm like, it's gross. No. The food's out. People are gross. It's all under flavor. But Chinese food, I give it a pass on a buffet for some reason.
Because it's
Chinese and Mexican food, I give both of those a pass on a buffet. They're fine.
Yeah, I don't do the Golden Corrals or any of that much either. Now Cece's got it going on. That is not good pizza, but there is anything you want, and there's plenty of it.
Yeah. There's something to be said for places who are just like, they just are what they are.
Right.
Like
exactly.
Cece's or Little Caesars.
Yep.
Even McDonald's, like, they go through phases where they try to be something they're not. For the most part, though, you kind of know
what you're getting there. You don't have to look at a menu.
Right. Like, you kind of know what they are. Like, Little Caesars is shitty pizza, but it's $5.
You know,
no one ever gets a Little Caesars and they're like, "Oh, this is comparable to the pizza that I enjoy the most."
Right. Right.
No one. You get a Little Caesars pizza, you're like, this kind of tastes funny, huh? And everybody's like, yeah, and then you just eat it.
Yeah, you don't go to McDonald's being like, I think I want to try something new today. That never happens.
Right.
That never happens.
Your burger's still mostly fake? Yeah. Your fries last forever? Uh-huh. Yeah, give me some of those.
Yeah.
Taco Bell, same way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm never like, man, I want some authentic Mexican food. I'm going to shoot down to the Bell.
No, it doesn't happen.
And grab a number 11 soft shell. Because I want some authentic Mexican food right now.
Nope. Taco Bell food is designed to take they actually put it right in their ad. It's there to take care of your hunger craving. That's it.
Yeah. And boy, does it work.
It works marvelously.
You know, a lot. You always hear stories about places that are like, oh, they genetically engineer your food for you to enjoy it.
That's fine. It tastes good.
I don't think it's successful everywhere, but boy, has Taco Bell nailed the formula for me.
Yeah, me too. That's
every time I go, I'm like, I probably don't need to keep eating Taco Bell, and I go and I'm like, man, you're so perfect.
And here's the difference between Taco Bell and McDonald's. Taco Bell can do this, McDonald's can't. Taco Bell does their cravings box meals or their lunchbox meal deals.
They're $5 big boxes.
Yeah. Well, they change them every month, which allows you to try something new, because it's always got one of your staples in it. A taco.
Yeah, they just put a different 3 things in there, but one of them's always a taco.
One of them's, but it's maybe it's a chalupa, or it's some sort of, like me, I love the quesadillas. The chicken quesadilla, I only get a chicken. and I only get it the grilled chicken. Well, this month's box up here anyway offered the box, and it had a crispy chicken quesadilla. And I was like, you know what? I don't even know if that sounds good or not. I don't know if that sounds right, but it's $5 along with the other food I got. It's all right.
I'll tell you, you can substitute that crispy one for a regular one and still get that $5 deal.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
I'll tell you why I know that, because when I went to my local Taco Bell, I said, "Can I get that box?" But because I'm like you, I'm like, I don't know if I want that. I don't know that I trust those naked chicken chips that you guys are putting in. Right. I'll eat your soy protein burrito all day long, but I don't know about that chicken Dorito. And I said, "Can I get that regular?" She said, "Yeah, it's either one." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I want the norm."
Well, that's good to know.
The huge. Well, it's probably over now. You know, they only keep that shit in there for a week.
I do think, yeah. But no, it wasn't horrible. I like the grilled one better. I like the regular chicken quesadilla better. But it wasn't horrible, and it was definitely worth the box.
Same sauce?
Same sauce. Just a different texture because it's the crispy chicken.
Yeah.
Just a different texture.
That grill, I hate when people are, that's not real chicken, right? Fuck you, I know.
Yeah.
It's I know.
That's not real Mexican food. It's not, but I didn't want real Mexican food, so I'm fucking exactly where I want to be right now. Shut your fucking
As you
pie hole.
Suck chemicals down a straw into your throat. Please tell me about my quesadilla.
Right.
Please, that shit is neon yellow that you're drinking.
Exactly. Go. Have another Monster and shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Energy drinks, out of control.
Love them.
That's really what we're talking about here, energy drinks, folks.
Mm-hmm. This is your Monster Power Hour.
Ooh, man, that's good. 5-hour Power Hour.
Man, we got some titles coming out today.
Mine didn't work good. Mine didn't work right. The 5-hour Power Hour is too much going on.
It's because you say hour twice. You say the same word twice. You can't do that.
Or can you? Is it kind of funny?
You can't. It's ridiculous.
5-hour Power Hour. No. You're like, I kind of want to know what that is.
Okay, it's ridiculous, not in a funny way.
Oh, shit. I thought it was in a good way. Patreon.com/Gamestitch. That's where you can support us. It's time to roll up. You didn't play anything.
Actually, I did. I actually played some new stuff this week.
Let's hear about it.
I was having some trouble with my internet this week, which I finally have fixed, thank God. But I played The Frozen Wilds, the DLC from Horizon Zero Dawn. And I'm actually still playing it. And it's more Horizon Zero Dawn. It's harder. It's a little more challenging than the game was, even with your level. I think they probably did that on purpose. Story's interesting. You learn more about the Banuk, so it's pretty cool. If you like Horizon Zero Dawn, you'll love the Frozen Wilds. And I started to play Recore on my Xbox. And so far, I'm not real far in. I've only played for probably an hour and a half, 2 hours. But so far, I'm pleasantly surprised. I remember this game reviewing not well at all.
You have the luxury of playing this post-patch, though.
I do have the luxury of playing it post-patch.
There's been a lot of changes.
Okay.
Along the way, I think.
And I picked up the definitive edition. It was $20. So
yeah, I don't think a lot of the complaints have been in the game itself. It was just in a lot of the hiccups and of course the way it finished. But they've changed a lot of that.
Yeah, I heard the hiccups and stuff, but I heard it's very back and forth. Having to go back to areas you've already been because of the different the Metroid style aspect of it. I haven't got that far yet, but I don't feel like I'm going to have a problem with that because I know that going in. I know that it's Metroid style in that. So, but I'm having fun with it. It's challenging, but not in one of those frustrating ways. Mm-hmm. It's one of those games that where you make a mistake, you know you did it. You know it's your fault.
Right.
It's not like, oh, well, it glitched out or the camera swung or the enemy is not too hard. You just made a mistake. You screwed up.
Right.
Not to the point, not to Dark Souls or Battleborn or nothing near as challenging as that. But the same idea, when you make a mistake, you know that it's your fault. When something bad happens, you screwed up. You know that.
Right.
So I'm not very far in, but I'm enjoying it. And then it was on 7-day this week, so I played multiplayer on both the PS4 and the Xbox One, so I could get my free and 7-day goodies. And I did.
Yeah. Recore is one that interests me.
I remember you talking about it. I had thought you played it.
No, I bought it forever ago. Never played it.
Okay. Actually, I think it's a game you would enjoy.
Yeah. It still seems like it. I just, add it to the list.
It's actually very, I want to say reminiscent, but that's because I played it first. But it shares some minor similarities with Horizon Zero Dawn, as far as the machines and the wasteland and stuff like that. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. It obviously does things completely different than Horizon Zero Dawn. And from what I've seen so far, Horizon Zero Dawn is a better game.
Yeah, I would say hands down that's probably true based off everything I've seen.
But I think Recore is designed to be challenging but fun. I don't think it's supposed to hit you in the feels or anything like that. It's just supposed to take you on your way, let you kill some time. So I'm hoping to get back into that. But Frozen Wilds right now, that's what I'm wrapped up in. It's so good. I want more Horizon Zero Dawn so bad.
You're going to get some, I'm sure. I'd say you're safe there.
I sure hope so.
I didn't play anything new. Just the old standbys. And one of those we're going to talk about in a bit.
In a little bit.
Let's dive into the news. The new news.
Is it? Yeah, it's new for the most part. New is in news. Isn't that weird?
It is weird because they're totally different, but they're the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like words like that.
So, I don't know how shower thoughts right here, folks.
We talked about it about 11 months ago, but the voice actors, the SAG-AFTRA, went on strike about 11 months ago, and they finally ended it. Finally.
They reached a compromise. They reached a deal.
Here's what I think is interesting. The SAG-AFTRA. It's clearly not how you say that. It's how I'm going to continue to say it.
It's AFTRA.
Do they say it like that, though?
Yes.
The SAG-AFTRA.
Well, they don't say it SAG-AFTRA, so.
They might. I thought they might say SAG and then say the AFTRA.
I don't think they do. I think it's SAG-AFTRA.
SAG-AFTRA, 7,200 voting members. And so they mailed out these ballots for everybody. What I thought was interesting, these voting cards that the union sent out, only 10% of them even came back.
That's so weird.
So for an issue that was big enough for them not to work for the last 11 months,
only 10 of them, only 10% decided
to even give a shit about returning it.
I mean, if you think about it, that's 720 came back.
Yeah. 90% of those were like, yeah, can we go back to work, please? And 10% of those were like, we're still not where we need to be. Yeah. So obviously, it was a landslide victory to start back. I'm not going to bore you with what happened here. I think it was a partial win for the voice actors. I think there's probably still some more that they need, but I understand you need to go back to work.
Well, I think what they got out of it was, obviously they get to go back to work. But their pay scale is a little bit better. And there is much more transparency in what they're walking. They're not walking in blind anymore. Now they have an idea of the rating, what type of game it is, the genre.
Yeah, with the secrecy around games, a lot of times you'd read for something and you wouldn't know until you were in it,
right,
what you actually had to do. And now, extreme violence or any kind anything like that. If it's a violent content or profanity, racial slurs, anything sexual, they tell you up front.
Which, I mean, like Ryan and I are fine with it. I don't know that we're fine with it in games, but we understand that it's in games. But some of these people are vehemently against that stuff and don't want to be involved in it. And they should know up front that that's going in if it's something that violates their core beliefs.
Right.
And now they
do. This has affected games that have come out recently, so I'm glad to see this come to a close. I hope everyone's happy with it.
Life is Strange Before the Storm, perfect example of that. Lot of kick pushback against that game because Ashley Birch wasn't going to be voicing Chloe. That said, Ashley Birch is obviously going to be coming back to work now, and the voice actor does a fine job in Before the Storm. So,
big story. Thought we'd lead off with it. Not much to say here other than 11 months is the longest entertainment union strike ever. And this was also the first strike of the video games union, the SAG-AFTRA. SAG-AFTRA. Here's how long they've been on strike. I forgot they were on strike till I read this.
Yeah.
That's how long the strike has been going. When I read this story, I was like, oh, shit. How about that?
That's right.
And if you're sitting on your couch right now or you're in your car and you're like, this is bullshit because big voice actors have had games come out, they couldn't record new audio.
Yes.
New jobs, anything they had already signed, they obviously had to fulfill those contracts.
Yeah, but there was nothing new that was
they didn't take new work. So if they recorded 4 years ago, then yeah, it was still used.
Which was why they couldn't hire Ashley Birch because she was approached after.
Correct. Let's talk about that Xbox One X.
Should we?
X gonna give it to you.
X.
Giving it to GameStop because they're almost sold out. And they almost sold out in 24 hours. Here's where it gets a little sneaky.
All right, I was hoping we were going to talk. I was hoping you were going to bring up the if.
This is a good article for GameStop, for Microsoft, for building
interest,
the desire, the interest, the want. What we don't know is, did they have 12?
Right.
Did they have 12 million?
We don't know how many they had.
There are 2 PS4s in my house. If I sold one, I'm almost sold out.
Right.
It's not as impressive.
Exactly.
Right? So it's a little misleading, but it does sound like everything I'm reading, different articles, that it has been a successful launch. Again, quotes around that, because what does that mean?
Is that based on money? Is that based on units sold? Is that based on... Yeah, right. We don't know what the basis is for that. Again, it could be the stores got 2 and sold both of them. So that's successful.
Microsoft quit releasing specific data because they were obviously trailing behind. So it'll be interesting to see if they start it back up now that the Xbox One is, air quote, successful. If they start releasing some of that data so we can get real stuff. If you're at home right now and you're terrified that you won't get your One X, GameStop says more on the way.
Yeah, you might want to buy like 4 hard drives as well, because apparently one game takes up some massive hard drive space.
I'm hearing good things about it, though.
I'm hearing good things about it, with the exception of that.
I think GameSpot called it a future-proof 4K machine.
Yes, I believe they did.
That's and Phil Spencer continues to bang his drum that this is for the people who play a lot of Xbox and a lot of games.
Yeah.
Like, this is your elite.
It seems like everybody seems to be talking the future-proof line, which really is huge.
Did you see the super special edition Xbox One they gave away to athletes and to influencers?
No.
It came in like luggage, like it was an Xbox, like a luggage roll-along. But somehow it's like partnered with Steph Curry, so it came with like shoes and a pair of socks.
Huh.
The whole thing was really weird, but yeah, you can't buy one. It was only to influencers and to athletes.
Huh.
Weird.
Yeah, especially since I don't really want the shoes or the socks.
I mean, I'll take a free pair of shoes. I'm not going to use them for their intended purpose of being athletic. But I'll put them on my feet and go to the store.
It depends on if they're ugly or not.
They look like fine shoes. They're black. They didn't have much going on.
Are they Nikes?
The socks? No, they're Under Armour.
See, I only wear Adidas.
The socks, though, they're a good-looking pair of Xbox socks.
Yeah?
Yeah, they looked all right.
I might be able to get behind some socks.
Yeah, I like fun socks. So anyways, go get your 1X if you want them.
Yeah.
Apparently they're cool.
I'm still not into it, but...
Yeah, they're expensive, but I think there's a market for it.
Oh, apparently.
For the so much so the GameStop's almost sold out. Get them while you can. These bitches are flying off the shelf.
Oh.
I'll tell you what I would say if I had a store full of things that weren't selling. I'd tell you pretty soon you're not going to get one because they're selling real fast.
Yep.
I'm not saying that's what happened here. All I'm saying is there's no data.
We don't. There is data. There is not all of the pertinent data to make
this story is air.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, they're selling so hot, but we'll have some.
Based on a what?
Right. I actually saw this story in 3 different places. In all 3 places, it said they're almost sold out. Here's a link to GameStop, so you can still get them while they're there, though. Yep. And I'm like, what is this?
Yep. They all had the link.
Is this some promotional stuff, and you're just trying to hide it under a fancy clickbaity title?
Yep, I saw it too.
I don't know. It worked. We're talking about it.
It did. That's right. That's what we do. The news.
The new news. No fake news here.
No.
Unless it is, and we thought it was real.
All real, all the time.
Only hard-hitting facts. Like, EA just bought Respawn. To clear up any confusion, I know some people thought that they already owned Respawn.
They did not.
Respawn was ex-Infinity Ward employees that were let go by Activision, and they had worked exclusively with
EA
over the last several years. Obviously, EA publishing Titanfall.
And Titanfall.
So they made it official. They put a ring on it.
Yep.
And it appears Respawn's working on some other stuff. They've got another Titanfall game they're working on. They're working on a Star Wars game. And they're working on an unannounced VR game.
Yeah.
So a lot of, what do they say, a lot of coals in the fire?
I wonder when the Star Wars game just throws a whole bundle of what the fuck is happening over there in my head. They canceled one Star Wars game, but Respawn's making it's a mess. Apparently EA is a mess.
And Respawn does shooters.
Right.
But we have Star Wars shooter.
Mm-hmm. Published by EA.
Published by all Star Wars stuff is EA. I don't know.
So weird. It almost feels like EA doesn't know what direction they're going in.
And to make it more strange, it's a third person.
Yeah. Which is what they already had, which was
Sounds like Battlefront. Right. Sounds like Battlefront, too.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what this is. It's being directed by...
Stig Rasmussen?
Stig. Yeah, Stig. God of War fame. God of War 3. So, who knows?
Yeah.
Some of this makes a little more sense with the Visceral closing. That they were going to...
In some ways, the Visceral closing makes it more confusing.
I guess I can see where they wanted to move forward with one of these, and they knew they were going to buy Respawn. I mean, Respawn was already making it for EA.
Right.
It wasn't for somebody else.
Right.
I guess the idea, let's bring them in-house, and let's make that our in-house Star Wars game right now that's going. And
especially, yeah. Interesting stuff.
Interesting. It was expensive also.
Yes.
EA will pay $151 million in cash for Respawn, as well as up to $164 million in equity. Performance milestones could see the cash figure rise as high as additional $140 million. A lot of money.
I'm in the wrong business.
Yep. Turns out, though, you can't just start a studio. You have to make good games also.
I heard that. I've heard that.
Yeah, so it's a little weird. Speaking of good games, let's talk about Ubisoft.
Oh, yeah, let's.
Ubi. I think Ubi makes good games.
They do make good games. I definitely like the new direction they've gone.
Newbie.
Newbisoft.
They're going to change their name to Nubisoft. Or maybe just drop the soft and just be Newbie.
Just Newbie.
Nubisoft has, as part of their earnings call, they have released some information, and it appears that Switch has been very good to the Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm. They're
almost as good as the Xbox One has.
Yeah, they're nearly even with Xbox sales.
Yeah, they're 1 point apart.
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 is 31% of the share for last period, while the Switch is 19% and Xbox One is 20%. What's so jarring here is that there are very few Switch offerings by Ubisoft.
Right.
So they're doing that with Mario Rabbids and Just Dance, I assume.
Yeah, I think that would be.
They might have Rayman Legends, I think is them.
Yeah, and I think they've got some indie stuff.
But obviously you're talking The Division, Wildlands, Rainbow Six.
Assassin's Creed just came out.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed. That won't be a part of
this. That probably won't be
yeah.
part of this, but...
Yeah, but a lot of big titles. South Park, same thing, won't be a part of this. But they've got a lot of games, a lot of feet on the dance floor. Is that one? People say that?
A lot of feet on the dance floor? I don't think so.
Is that a new one? A new one? Start using that, people. Start using that in your everyday.
Maybe a lot of coals in the fire?
See, I said that one just a minute ago, though. Oh. And I wanted to keep it fresh, so I went a lot of feet on the dance floor.
Oh, feet on the dance floor was fresh, all right.
Hot take. Feet on the dance floor. Start using it. And use it fast. Don't give people time to reflect on it. Use it and keep going so that they're sitting there going, "You say feet on the dance floor?"
Just roll with it, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of feet on the dance floor is the same thing as a lot of coals in the fire, though.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It means you got a lot going on. It's fine.
Maybe it just means the DJ is good.
A lot of fish in the sea.
Well, that's completely different.
That's what people say when they're...
That's not a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the ocean.
Yeah, that's not what fish in the sea is a reference to. And
people say that whenever relationships don't work out for some reason.
They're not interchangeable. They do say that a lot, but they're not. They're two different situations as well.
Yeah, if you're like, "Oh man, she broke up with me," and they're like, "No worries, a lot of feet on the dance floor." See, you could just slide it right in there.
No, don't.
A lot of fish in the sea. Well, I'm not into fish, bro.
Don't use it in exchange for either of them. It works better as a replacement for coals in the fire.
It works for both, I think.
It doesn't at all.
Why would that make you feel better that the ocean's full of fish when people say, like, well,
I don't know why a lot of feet on the dance floor would fucking do for me at all.
Because you like dancing?
But I don't like dancing.
People like dancing, though. Maybe not you.
And you're comparing feet to all the women that are out there.
What's better, feet or fish? See what I'm saying?
You can, at least fish, you could sustain yourself on.
You can eat feet.
You shouldn't eat feet, though.
You can eat feet. That's a fact. That's a cold, hard fact. But feet can be eaten.
You can. It's different. It's different. Fish in modern society are actually considered to be a form of consumption.
What about pig's feet?
Better than regular feet.
I never said that there's a lot of people feet on the dance floor.
But pig's feet on the dance floor really doesn't hold water.
There's a lot of pig's feet on the dance floor, you know what I'm saying?
Especially not after you just got broke up with.
That's fine. Somebody calls you, pouring their heart out, you just look at them and say, "Hey," or you just take the phone close to your mouth and say, "Hey, there's a lot of pig's feet on the dance floor," you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you hang up. And let them work through it. Let them work through the process and figure it out. And that works male and female, so that's a good interchangeable.
It is. It's gender equal. Mm-hmm. It's true.
Yeah.
A lot of pig's feet on the dance floor.
Ton of pig's feet on the dance floor. Also episode title. You're welcome. Anyways, yes, Switch is doing well for Ubisoft. They plan to keep supporting it. This is not a news story, but apparently it's not working that way for EA, and they're going to take a couple steps back because FIFA did not set the world on fire. Maybe, hold on. This is for you, EA. Maybe you shouldn't have done a shit version for the Switch.
Right.
And it would have done okay.
Right.
Ubi built a fucking Mario game. You can't even put a full soccer game out?
Well, that's the thing is Ubisoft deserves this because they have shown faith in the Switch.
Right, they didn't half-ass port a game over.
Right. EA is just like, money grab.
Yeah.
And you know what? Didn't grab any money because it was shit.
So I love this. I love to see people vote with their wallet. Yeah, EA, you're not making as many because it didn't work.
Right.
Because your offerings weren't as good. Ubisoft went all in on the Switch. And you know what? It worked. And Ubisoft can't afford a miss.
Nope.
That's the best part about all this.
Right. And
they did it, even though they can't afford a miss, they still did it.
They just keep throwing shade at Vivendi like you wouldn't believe.
They're a miss away from being Vivendi, and they still keep taking a chance. They still roll the dice. I don't know all the details because I don't have one or read this story, but I think they're giving away Rainbow Six to anyone that buys an Xbox One X right now. It's genius. Build a player base up.
Right.
Keep supporting that game. People will buy the DLC and the microtransactions or whatever it has.
I'll tell you what. Ubisoft got cornered by Vivendi, and they came out swinging.
Yeah. They have reacted as well as you can.
Yeah, they are doing things remarkably.
Mm-hmm.
Good for them.
Good for them. Big new Zelda, big fat Zelda update. It's not that big, but
is it big?
Here's what
I don't know. I don't know. Big and fat is the right word.
Big and tasty. Does
No.
McDonald's still have the big and tasty?
I haven't. I don't think so.
That's a gross name for something that you're about to eat. The big and tasty.
That's some Hollywood bullshit right there.
Yeah, that's like a stage. Please welcome Big and Tasty.
Big and tasty.
No thanks. Amiibo support for all 4 of the champions, which those are now out.
Mm-hmm.
The side quest to receive the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 gear is now available, just like before. That's going to be a series of side quests to get each piece of it. An issue preventing the X mark for game overs for being recorded in the Hero's Path mode. That's been fixed if that was an issue for anybody. And various other gameplay fixes. So the main thing here, the Xenoblade Chronicles gear, which a lot of people are excited about, and the Amiibo support for the champions. I did pre-order all 4 of those champions. I've not picked them up yet. And I also want to give a shout out to the Mario Odyssey Amiibos.
Mm-hmm.
Those are nice looking amiibo. Like they stepped their amiibo game up with the models on these.
Well, that's good.
Because they're all in wedding gear, but they look awesome. And I now think if I was to get married, I would put Mario and Peach up there in their wedding gear because it looks damn nice. But so will everyone else that loves video games from here on out. I've also seen them be available. So shout out to Nintendo for making what appears to be enough. Right. Because I went to Best Buy yesterday and they still had them in stock. Mario Odyssey is also fucking bananas good. So good.
I heard.
So good. Like every time I'm like, it's just Mario. It's not. It's so good. Something new happens and I'm like, ooh. Puts me back to being a child. I love Mario. I love this Mario. Also, when you tap Amiibo, he just wears what they're wearing, so you can put him in Peach's wedding dress, which I also appreciate. That changes the whole dynamic of the game.
That's right. You like your Mario to be cross-dressing. That's cool.
It changes everything.
That's cool. Nothing wrong with that.
Because he wears it with the same...
Panache?
Yeah. The same
good word.
swag. Yeah, the same swag the kids like to say. As he wears his normal overalls. He feels good about it. He feels pretty.
That's all right. Mario looks pretty and everything.
Nintendo also stealth released their first video streaming app, and it's the one everyone was waiting for. Hulu. The outrage from day one when the Switch didn't have Hulu. Not YouTube, not Netflix, Hulu.
Good for Hulu, though. Expanding their base. Hulu's not bad. I have Hulu.
I'm not mad at Hulu. I'm mad that Nintendo's like, let's give the people what they want.
I don't know why. You always give me shit when I get mad at them when they give the people what they want.
I didn't read a single story at the launch of the Switch that was like, this piece of shit doesn't have Hulu. Not one article even mentioned Hulu.
I don't know why it would surprise you that Nintendo would do this.
Who's been hard at work at Nintendo just getting this Hulu app ready to go?
I don't know, maybe Reggie's little brother.
Yeah, Reggie's brother must work at Hulu because I can't think of any other reason for this to
happen. Or
he
just needed a job.
YouTube should be the first thing that you get going, and Netflix very quickly after.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mobile, handheld platform. I want to watch those things on it.
You can watch Hulu on it.
I could.
I
don't even have Hulu.
I watch Hulu.
I don't even have Hulu.
I have Hulu. Because we don't have cable, so we can watch all those shows the next day. That's what's good about Hulu.
Well, it'll be there.
I know. Good for me.
The eShop page is live now.
Uh-huh.
And you can watch ad-based and ad-free subscription, so depending on which level you subscribe to. From that awesome story, we'll fast forward to kind of a sad story. Massive layoffs at Telltale that appear to affect every game they more or less work on. They're laying off 90 people.
That's a lot, by the way.
It is a quarter of all of their staff.
Yep.
And I don't think we need to go into it with everyone that listens to this podcast. I think we're all informed enough to know what's happened at Telltale. They never fixed their engine.
Nope.
Their games. I mean, since day one, people have complained about how janky those games are, and they've continued to come out that way, and they obviously had their hand in too many
pies.
They had their hands in too many pies. Another good analogy that gets used a lot. Almost as good as pigs' feet on the dance floor. They had their hands in too many pies. Two is the number of pies you can have your hands in. Also, but yeah, it's just a bad deal. CEO Pete Hawley said the realities of the environment we face moving forward demand we evolve, as well as reorientating our organization with focus on delivering fewer, better games with a smaller team. AKA, we're bleeding.
Maybe it's time to update your engine and update
Maybe it's
your
time to take
concept.
some time off, right? Mm-hmm.
Maybe it will stop bleeding. That's how you stop the bleeding. That's the tourniquet, my friend.
I would love to say that, I didn't see this coming. What a shock. But I think everyone saw this coming.
Oh, the Telltale? Yeah.
Yeah, they grew too fast. They had their hand in too many pies. And
they took too much on.
Yeah, it was... Their episodes took too long to come out. They were buggy. Oh, it's working on the Xbox, not the PS4, or vice versa. It just seemed like every time we were talking about Telltale, it was because of some other issue.
They overextended their resources.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Now, this next one is cool, though.
It is cool. Okay.
And super unexpected for me.
Didn't see it coming.
Yeah, maybe somebody saw it coming. Not this guy. New Injustice 2 DLC characters were shown off. So, did you watch the trailer for this?
I did.
So, it starts off with Adam.
The Adam,
correct?
The Adam,
yeah,
and
the
Enchantress.
Enchantress. I have a hard time with that one. Enchantress.
I can see that.
They're duking it out. They're having a battle.
Well, they're getting ready to battle. They don't quite get to battling. They're about to. But then...
That's the moment. You can talk about the moment.
But then, a shadowy figure in a trench coat in an alley shows up.
A saw hits between them. Halts the action.
This shadowy figure in a trench coat.
Looks like a turtle.
The camera... It doesn't look like a turtle.
It looks like a turtle.
The camera scans to him.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden the trench coat comes off and there is 3 other folks behind him.
Maybe brothers.
Maybe brothers. Maybe mutants. Maybe teenagers.
Maybe heroes in a half shell.
Maybe turtles. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are coming to Injustice 2.
A lot of speculation on how this is going to work.
Well, and that's because of the line. There's a very specific line in this. And basically, Michelangelo says, I got dibs on the magic chick. Meaning Enchantress.
The magic lady, yep.
The magic lady. That's what it is.
Yeah, you made him a little sleazy.
That's my...
Yo, bro, I got the magic chick.
That's my Mikey. And Donatello says, we work as a team.
Yeah, I think Leonardo says that.
Is it Leonardo? Whoever it is.
We fight as a team.
We fight as a team.
The internet has decided that means they fight as a team.
Right.
Meaning that they think you will play as Leonardo seems to be what everyone says you'll play as him, and then the other turtles will tag in for special moves and things like that.
That could be.
Big misstep if that's the case. You should be playing as Donatello.
No, he should be playing as Raphael.
No one thinks that but you. But I will say that scene is straight out of my childhood in those movies when he's in that trench coat.
Oh yeah, the trench coat's awesome.
I look like a turtle in a trench coat. Like, it's so perfect. And they were so unexpected. And my first... So I watched the trailer yesterday, and I immediately was like, maybe I should get Injustice.
It's on sale. Last day.
How much is it right now?
I think the Ultimate Edition is $53. And the regular edition is like $41.
We're going to talk about it next week, but it's on... I think it's $20 on Black Friday. We're going to talk about Black Friday deals next week.
Okay.
But of course, that's not the Ultimate Edition. It comes with all the DLC. But I want to think the standard's $20.
Okay.
It's cool. It's a cool cinematic moment, and that piqued my interest. I suck at fighting games.
There's a lot of people that are happy about this, but there was also a fake trailer this week that went out of Constantine, who is actually a DC Comics book character. Was a fake trailer. He's not actually coming. So this is cool. A little upsetting that Constantine won't be in there, but
maybe at some point. I think Turtle's bigger draw, though.
Yeah, probably.
Next story.
Turtle power.
Are you in any way interested in Injustice?
I've been interested in it. I finished the first one. I am interested in Injustice 2. But fighting games aren't really my thing, and I'm to the point now where it hasn't come down. It's not cheap enough for me to get it. I think I picked up Injustice for like $20, but that was the deluxe edition. That's when I picked it up. So right. I am interested in it. I'm never interested in it for online play or any of that. I just like going. I think the story is cool. So
you don't like getting your teeth kicked in?
Never.
Over and over and over.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not a masochist at all.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So.
PUBG publisher announces new game, and it's very different.
Yeah, it is.
So different that it's a steampunk MMORPG, which is almost too long to say.
Steampunk is cool. I don't know about an MMO.
Mm-hmm. So Bluehole Studios announced something completely different. And it's called Infinite Air. A groundbreaking MMO, they called it.
Aren't all MMOs groundbreaking?
I would hope so. I hate to make one that wasn't. It's a steampunk high fantasy. 5 classes, including Warlord, Sorceress, Gunslinger, Assassin, and Mystic. This sounds like every MMO that's ever come out. I'm done with the read now. I just want to come out and say this sounds like every MMO that we've ever talked about.
Only with a steampunk setting.
A beta for Infinite Air is planned to launch first half of 2018. You can sign up on their website. To clear up any potential confusing, PUBG is developed by PUBG Corp.
Yeah, they changed the name on that.
So it would appear that Brendan Green has no involvement with the Infinite Air.
Yeah, he's too busy playing Fortnite. No, I'm kidding.
Are you looking at this story that I got here?
Which story?
It says Infinite Air up here, but then at the bottom it says Infinite Realm.
Yes, it does. I don't know. I did look at that. I was questioning.
They're making some game called Infinite something.
Isn't it Ascent, Infinite Realm?
Maybe. What's Infinite Air?
I don't know.
You see that Infinite Air is on here twice.
I do. But I believe it's called Ascent, Infinite Realm.
Thanks for not fucking us big time wherever I pulled this story from.
Sons of bitches!
Nobody was going to play this anyway.
Pig's feet on the dance floor.
Right. Hands in the pie, for Christ's sake. I really put this story in here because it's a fancy segue to the next story. And so let me close out this story with it's full of incorrect facts.
Okay.
By saying PUBG recently crossed an astonishing 20 million copies sold. And it's still in early access, PC only. So that is astonishing. Which segues real fancy segue into our next story. Segway fancies. I'm having a stroke. I'm having a stroke.
Somebody call 911.
Segway fancy. Fortnite Passes 20 million players. That's a lot of players. It's similar to the 20 million copies sold, only Fortnite's mostly free.
Right.
So it's like that, but without all the money and profits. And they celebrated with a new patch, 1.8.2, which lets you...
You love this one. I know you do.
Which
I know
lets
you can't
you be
wait.
a bush.
You get a consumable item, which is a bush.
You become the bush. If you take any damage, whether that be fall damage, storm damage, or someone shoots you, the bush disappears. This update, this consumable, has totally ruined the way I play the game.
It has?
It's destroyed it for me. People are now just shooting random bushes because they can't tell.
Oh.
So my strategy of roaming bush to bush
doesn't work anymore.
Right. So I played the other night and made it to second, and the guy actually killed me because he was just methodically going through. He was above me, going through the map and shooting every bush that was there.
Oh, wow.
Until he got to the one I was in, and it got me. Because I stayed the course. Because it's what I do. But yeah, it's ruined the bush game.
That sucks.
But I love that Fortnite is doing well. I love that PUBG's doing well. And no one's going to play that Infinite Realm Air game. Those are 2 stories in a nutshell. If you can't get enough Jeff Keighley or Game Awards, don't worry, it's back for 2017, and it's back on December 7th.
Boom!
As in the past years, it will be streamed live around the world, including localized versions for China, South Korea, and Japan viewers. I'm not feeling well.
They're Japanese. You were right.
I know, but I said China, South Korea, and Japanese.
Oh.
I broke form. Anyways, that's happening. There'll be new trailers, new reveals. I think they got some business with the orchestra that'll be playing some music there. The back half of this news is really falling off. It started out so strong, so promising.
Oh, what a mess.
It's really taken a dive the last couple stories.
China, South Korea, Japanese.
We had some fake news about the blue hole. And then we get down here, and I think I offended some people.
Don't forget your Segway fancy.
Segway fancy was still pretty good, though. I promise we're almost done with news stories. This next one won't even make any sense because there's a picture on it. It's really just for Dan. But I'm going to read it to you anyways. You know I love this stuff that is branded, that's video game related. And no one understands more than Activision. Because they've partnered with Indian Motorcycles to make a real fucking motorcycle that's branded for Call of Duty.
It is. And it looks pretty sweet.
It does look really good. So they made the Jeep. Remember the Jeep they did?
Mm-hmm.
That looked cool too. But this motorcycle is fucking super. If you haven't seen it, you should just search for it. It's awesome. It's similar to a Scout 741B from the 40s. But it's a 2018 Indian Scout. And it is awesome. And they show it in the OD green with the leather saddlebags, leather seat. And if you bought the Call of Duty Jeep, and you're not pulling a trailer with this thing on the back, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you're not a true fan.
Yeah, you're not. You don't care about the franchise. Stop telling people you like Call of Duty because you don't. Unless you're riding this motorcycle to go get in your Jeep.
Yep.
I thought I was doing stuff when I bought that remote control car that came with Call of Duty.
Right.
Now you got to buy a real fucking motorcycle if you're a fan.
Otherwise, you're not a fan. It's true.
Yeah. No price that I've seen.
I would just probably say expensive.
Yeah. I can say, though, like if I was in the market to go buy a bike, that would be considered. Even though I don't like Call of Duty.
It's a good-looking bike.
Yeah.
It really is.
Considered.
And I really like the color scheme, that matte gray.
Yeah. It looks good.
That's really good.
It looks super good. That's it.
It's news. Thank God.
Rebounded nicely with that strong Call of Duty motorcycle story.
Thank God
we're
done. With news.
Enabled us to close it out. Yeah, news.
New news.
The new ooze. Quickly, it's time for Gone But Not Forgotten. My favorite segment. I think it's your turn.
It's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to hate my game.
If you're new to the show, this is where we reach back in our gaming past to tell you about something we loved. Hopefully both of us love it. Maybe not this week.
Not this week.
And we want you to watch videos or go back and play it and just reminisce. So take it away with this title that I'm not going to love.
This week's Gone But Not Forgotten is Brink by Splash Damage.
I don't hate this.
You don't hate it? It's first person.
I don't hate this. Yeah, I mean, I'm not ever going to play it. Never did play it, but I don't hate this callback.
It's all first person all the time. Always online. Essentially, it's a team shooter. There's objectives that have to be completed. There is a single player game that kind of sets you up, teaches you what the different types of objectives you'll have. But it has what's called the SMART system. And I can't remember what it stands for. It stands for smooth...
Keep talking, I'll find it.
Smooth movement across random terrain system. Essentially, this is one of the first games, with the exception of Assassin's Creed, probably, to introduce a concept of parkour. The parkour plays very much like Mirror's Edge. You just hold down the SMART button, and the AI determines what your best course of action is for continuous movement. Continuous flow of movement. So it's a team objective shooter with the parkour elements. You had different classes, like always. What was cool about this game is body size. You could choose your body size, and that changed how you play. Some had more health, some were quicker, some could do more parkour, even to the point of wall jumping. And when this came out, I was one of the only people of like our group of friends who was like, man, I love this game. I've never had anybody to play with, so I just played with rando strangers all the time. Because Matt and Gerald weren't really into it, and Ryan, I know, doesn't like first-person shooters. But I had a really, really good time with this. The problem was I prefer the objective-based shooters more so than just out-and-out kill everybody. But it did have a very unfinished feel to it. Like there was a lot of good ideas put in here that never quite came together to form a complete game. And even though it reviewed very well, it didn't sell very well. And I think people were too caught up in... It was, in a certain sense, it was kind of ahead of its time with the objective basis of it. So it didn't sell very well, even though it reviewed average to, well, I would say, probably 6, 7s, 8s. So it kind of just fell by the wayside and got forgotten, and then people just stopped playing it. And so much so that I'm not even sure that Splash Damage is really doing anything anymore. I do know that the PC version became free to play on August 22nd of this year. But other than that, I don't know much about what's going on with the game. You can still buy it, obviously, for 360 and PS3. But Splash Damage, I don't know of doing much of anything, really. So this week's Gone But Not Forgotten is Brink by Splash Damage.
Published by Bethesda.
Yeah.
I remember that game. Had a blue cover.
Had a light blue cover with a badass...
Smart, smooth movement across random terrain.
It kind of introduced. It was really cool the way it worked. You just held down a button and it ran in whatever direction you went. It either slid over or under, and really the AI was pretty good for that. Yes, smart. Yes.
I wish every time you did it, it's in the background. It's like smart.
You should add that.
Smart. I should go back, hack the game.
Smart.
Add the mod in.
You could
every time you hit the button. Is it R2? Every time you hit R2, it's like smart.
I can't remember.
Wouldn't be R2. That's how you would shoot.
Yeah, I don't remember which button it was because I haven't played it in 6 years.
Yeah, nobody has.
Oh.
That's this week's Gone But Not Forgotten. Remember, if you have one for us, hit us up using the hashtag GBNF, just like our friend Garrett Wade did.
GBNF.
I don't have this. Do you have this?
He didn't have a Gone But Not Forgotten.
He talked about a
this week.
game that was gone, but not forgotten.
Oh,
It's not out
yes,
yet.
yes, that's right. Pit People.
It's not gone.
It's not gone.
Not even certain it's out.
I think it's still in early access.
Yeah. It's been out for a while, though.
Yeah, Garrett wanted us to talk about this game this week. Unfortunately, neither Ryan or I know much about it or got a chance to research it much. I know very little about it, that it's funny and it's a tactical strategy game. So, Garrett, if you're okay with it, and you're kind of going to have to be because it's just kind of how it's going. Sorry. We're going to do some more research on Pit People, possibly even play it. I'm not sure. And hopefully we'll have more to report next week or the week after. But it does look cool, and I know that you said you and Tanya really, really enjoyed playing it co-op. You put about 150 hours in, I think you said. Might have been exaggeration. I don't know. I'm giving you benefit of the doubt. I'm saying you played it 150 hours.
Yeah, why would you even bring up that it might be an exaggeration?
Just
I had total faith.
because I exaggerate all the time. Well, not everybody does, and I like to cover all bases.
I watched the trailer for this that he tweeted out. It looks cool. This is the Behemoth, which is Castle Crashers. Castle Crashers.
Segway fancy.
Alien Hominid was their first game, I think. So I think this is their third entry. They make good games, so
Yeah.
There's no reason this shouldn't also be good.
Nope. So I think we'll get hopefully we'll get a chance to check it out, or at least research it more.
And just to clear everything up, he didn't Gone But Not Forgotten this. I just thought like this was a good place to shove this game in, because this game's not gone or forgotten. It's not even really out yet.
Yeah, that's why your segue wasn't the right flow, bro.
It was a fancy segue, and you weren't ready for it.
Yeah, it wasn't a fancy segue. It
like-
was a
it's like
completely
when you
wrong ass segue.
You're playing catch with your friend who's all texting. That's what that was like.
Oh, that's fair.
Hey, catch. You're like, well, I didn't even know we were playing a game.
Right.
I was doing something totally different.
Okay, I'll give you that. That's fair. Mm-hmm. That one's
That's
fair.
what happened.
Yeah. That was
If you do have one for us, hit us up on Twitter at @game_stitch using the hashtag GBNF, or email us podcast@gamestitch.com. Put GBNF all up in that subject line. Make it happen.
Do it to it.
Make it happen.
Boom.
Now it's time for shout-outs. Remember, if you want to shout out, support us at the $25 tier over at patreon.com. And by that, I mean the $10 tier.
Yes.
It's the $10, not the $25. I just got rolling. If you want to give us $25, that's fine, too. You don't need it to get the shout-out. That's $10.
It's true.
Patreon.com/GameStitch. We've got 2 shout-outs this week.
We do. The first one comes from Garrett Wade. Mm-hmm. And Garrett Wade says, "It's a boy! Bruce Wade is expected to be my player 3 around March 26, 2018. Middle name is still uncertain. Ones I'm thinking of are Banner, Jeffrey, and Daniel. Hashtag,
Not hard to see which one you're pulling for.
Hashtag shout out. I look forward to your next show." Yeah. It's probably not. Daniel, bro. Daniel is the quintessential middle name. It works in all aspects, all everywhere, but it maintains that air of respectability. Mm-hmm. But Bruce Banner come on, it's pretty fucking cool too.
Yeah.
But I'm still got to go with Daniel.
But Bruce Wade's cool already on its own.
Bruce Wade is cool on its own. That's true.
Right. He texted me a little bit, and he said he felt like Batman was too on the nose.
But it might be. It could be.
And I told him the opposite. No one's going to mess with a kid on the playground named the Batman.
No, if you really want to mess with people, though, Garrett Wade, and prove how much of a Batman fan you are, what you need to name your child is Matches Malone Wade. You don't get it. You don't understand, Ryan. He'll understand.
It's also, it doesn't roll as well as...
Matches Malone? Sure it does.
Matches Malone Wade.
Okay, I can see that.
Bruce Wade rolls off way better.
But how awesome is it when Tanya's yelling at him for getting into the Tupperware, and she's like, "Matches Malone!"
Tell you what rolls even better is Bruce Ryan Wade.
It doesn't. It sounds horrible.
That rolls really well.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like a country music singer.
Bruce Ryan.
Bruce Ryan Wade.
It doesn't sound like... It sounds like a serial killer.
You're drunk. You're jealous right now. You're coming off so jealous. It's fine. So I said we had 2 shout-outs. I mean, we had 2 people that earned the shout-out tier. But Thomas did not send us one.
Oh.
But...
I got it. We got congratulations, you guys. Garrett and Tanya. We didn't say congratulations. We went through a shout-out. Congratulations.
I was going to assign a shout-out for Thomas, because that's what happens when you don't submit one, and that's all I was going to be, was congratulations.
Oh.
Because picking out a name is, I would think, one of the hardest things, because you're going to be calling that tiny person that until they're not tiny anymore.
Right. I mean, when I'm creating a character, I have a tough time thinking of a name. So
right. So it's a big deal, and I'm sure that you went back and forth on it, and it's cool to see you nail that down, and we're excited for you.
We're super happy for you guys.
We thought Baby Gamestitch was good, but I like what you did too. You know, I think they're both good. I think they're both different. They both offer something totally different.
They do.
I also think Daniel Ryan Wade was good.
Daniel Ryan Wade was good, but I understand why he wants the Bruce Wayne. Wade, but
also I understand why you wouldn't name it after us. So there's that, okay. But I think that's good.
Okay, well I don't get it, but
so yeah, congratulations. Thomas sends his congratulations without really sending it, but he would have sent it because he's good people and that's what he do.
Yep.
If you want your shout out, patreon.com, support us at the $10 tier, and you can submit one every week over whatever you want it to be over. And remember, if you don't submit one, we'll submit one for you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
If you want to follow us on the social medias, together we are at Game_Stitch. Dan is at Shirtless Dan, and I am at Podcast Ryan. The stream is out there for whatever I played. Fortnite.
Played Fortnite.
Yeah, we'll have. So I'm out of town next week.
I'm going to try to get something up this week. No, I'm like at 80%.
Yeah, there'll be more streams before the month is out. That's all I can tell you for sure. So make sure you check out our YouTube, youtube.com/Gamestitch. Now, the podcast is also available on YouTube if you prefer to watch through your browser or an app or something like that. There's no video with it, but you can watch it on YouTube. By watch it, I mean listen to it. So yeah, that's what we got going on.
Yeah.
And if we're not somebody that we mentioned that you listen every week, thank you, ear listener.
Yeah, we love you
for letting us penetrate those ear holes each week. You don't have to do that, but you allow that, and we appreciate it. Yeah, coming in from both sides, right through the bam, right and left.
A little double team action.
Yeah, like an audio sandwich. Just pleasure in those ears.
Oh.
From both directions.
Oh, yeah.
That's all we do. This has been episode 251. 252. That was the test. You passed. Congratulations. You'll receive a prize in the mail in 6 to 8 weeks.
It's going to be a secret decoder ring or some bullshit, probably.
Oh, man. I missed the decoder ring. Also miss like the shit toys that came in cereal boxes.
Yeah, or Cracker Jacks.
Yeah. Now it's like a tattoo, and you're like, what the fuck,
what am I going to do with this? Maybe it's because I'm a grown-up now, but...
Yeah, but I was looking for...
I still want the toy, yeah.
Yeah. I was looking for like a plastic Hot Wheel that was worth like 12 cents in here, not a fucking tattoo.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not a hippie. I don't want your tattoo. You see what I did there?
I did.
Just offended a bunch more people. Now if you have a tattoo, you're a hippie. I have a tattoo. Fucking hippies.
Okay. I think it's time to go. We gotta wrap it up now before you do any more stupid things.
Episode 252. A lot of pig's feet on the dance floor. Good night.
Good night.